everyone, and welcome to our roundtable discussion about Mad Max. Velville Ryno, say hi.
Hello.
We're here to talk about Road Warrior, Beyond the Thunderdome, Fury Road.
So what we learned from that is that he clearly had more going on because after Road Warrior we have Thunderdome,
Thunderdome,
uh, which I found more fast. Like I love Road Warrior as a movie. I found Thunderdome a lot more fascinating from a making it perspective,
mm-hmm.
because so much went wrong with that movie that it's amazing that I didn't just absolutely hate it. First off, PG-13 rating.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get that off there. Which I'm we talked about this during the DC stuff. I don't like it when it's something like that's supposed to be R like this.
Yeah, was
You know what
Road
I mean?
Warrior R?
Oh yeah.
Was it
Well,
okay?
well, the blood guts, the rape scene.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I just didn't pay
Uh,
attention if it was or not. So, but I assumed it.
no, well, I mean, yeah, no, this isn't like back in the day when PG actually meant PG-13,
Right.
Gremlins wise. No, no, this was
Or,
PG-13, like it was made for kids. And come to find out after doing some little IMDb research, it wasn't supposed to be a Mad Max movie. Come to find out, it was initially written, that first part with the Thunderdome actually wasn't supposed to be in the movie initially. What
oh.
it was is it was some sort of wanderer comes along a group of kids, um, and what the movie proceeds as it goes from there. They're trying to get out, they're trying to do the whole thing. But what happened was one of the, I think it was a producer or a writer, was friends with George Miller, and he said, "Hey, why don't we make it Mad Max?" Is the guy that kind of stumbles across them, you know.
Okay.
And I mean, clearly it worked. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I didn't like this one as much as Road Warrior,
It was
but
toned down as far as like you
well,
said, like the violence and things like that was in it.
the best way I can describe it, and I don't want to say he sold out, but what it is he went Hollywood. You know what I mean? Because he
Yeah.
made that first movie for like almost no budget. I think it was a it was like the story of Clerks, where he maxes out credit cards and uses stipend. You know, he gets money from other things.
Yeah.
Um, that was Mad. That was the original Mad Max, and then we go to Road
Road Warrior.
Warrior. Yeah, that we go to Road Warrior, where he gets a little bit of money, but it's still not a lot of money, and he makes this fantastic piece of movie where he's built this world and everything. And then the studio gets a hold of it and says, "Wow, we can actually make some money off of this." And that's when you get Thunderdome, and that's when you get people talking about, "Well, we can't have two gay characters riding a motorcycle together.
And we
Like that
want
can't
Tina
have two gay."
Turner in it, so and
Yeah,
this and that.
yeah,
Which she was
yeah.
great. But
No, well, Tina Turner. The fun part for me about that was me sitting there watching the movie, going, "Did she make the song for the movie? Is that why she's in?" Yep, she did.
yes, she did.
That's Tina Turner. And what was fun about that for me is I watched the movie on HBO Max, and they had just released a Tina Turner documentary the same
They
day.
did,
So,
yeah.
so it was really kind of funny because I kept like, it's like, "Hey, you watched the Tina Turner movie? Do you want to watch the Tina Turner documentary?" And
You
I'm
want to
like,
see Auntie?
"Maybe later." What?
You want to see Auntie's
You
documentary?
want to see? You want to see on the documentary? Sure. Why not? We'll watch that. Put that on the list, HBO Max. I've got nerdy things to watch.
Why not?
Um, put that on the list. We'll watch it later if you really want me. But you like the Tina Turner movie? Yes, because that was the best part of Enter the Thunderdome was Tina Turner in her what I can only describe as what men think female football uniforms look like, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
she was wearing
Or roller
the
derby.
pads and the shoulder pads and not much else.
There's a
Um,
little bit of flair there. There's a little bit of flair if I remember
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, the flare. Um, and I enjoy the concept of that one too. The whole barter town concept of having your entire town supplied by pig farts
Oh,
is
yep.
probably one of the better ideas. I mean, if there's one thing you have an abundance of in the future like that, I guess it'd be pigs.
And what's easy to take care of and maintain? Pigs.
Methane, the natural
Methane.
gas.
Yep.
It makes sense. I mean, if you could hire a little person and a mentally handicapped man to run the section. Why not?
Who runs Bartertown?
I
Master
love
Blaster
that
runs
scene.
Bartertown.
It's weird me saying I don't like the movie as much, but that might be my favorite Mad Max scene is the Who Runs Bartertown, just the standoff.
Oh, and
Who runs Bartertown? Go
Master
ahead.
Blaster runs Bartertown. And he makes Auntie
Master
say it
Blaster.
too, and he holds her to such a crutch too.
Yeah, and that's why she tries to have Max kill him, and then has to backtrack on it. Um,
The twist.
yeah, it's a twist. She turns on him, but she also has to save him because technically he did the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
There were some theories I looked up that say the reason he didn't kill Blaster
Mm-hmm.
is because it reminded him of someone from the first movie. Like there was a
Okay.
mentally handicapped guy, or there was like he looked a little bit like the son. And some people even theorized that the original, as it was written, that he was supposed to be someone he knew, and that's why he didn't kill Blaster. That was it was someone he knew from back before the
Someone from his
apocalypse.
past. So okay, interesting.
Yeah, that was a theory. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I like it. I like things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's
Keep it up to
ambiguous.
mystery,
Yeah, right.
imagination.
And then we found Master's not really that big of an asshole. He just trying to regain power because yeah, I mean,
Living in the world, doing his
um,
thing.
yeah. And what's weird about it is, this is something you can argue with me on this one if you want. Is Enter the Thunderdome doesn't really have a villain.
No,
I mean, you could say Tina Turner's character is,
but
but
is she really?
is she really? Because I think she didn't have to. She could have had him killed right there. She didn't have to have him face the wheel. Which, by the way, the wheel might be my favorite.
The wheel,
Bust a deal,
Auntie's
face the wheel.
choice, hard labor, underworld,
Yeah. Underworld, acquitted, just strips as acquitted.
acquitted.
Spin again was on there.
And those are
Um,
they're so tiny. Those ones. I think Auntie's choice was the biggest or something like that. It was like really big.
Auntie's choice. Yeah. Auntie's choice was the biggest, and he almost gets acquitted if you look at the wheel. And that's and it just says gulag, which might be the vaguest punishment ever. It doesn't say exile; it says gulag.
Gulak.
Um, gulag. Um, which again, sure, why not? If it's the future, you're spinning the wheel of death anyway. Why the hell not?
Kind of reminds me of that scene
Yeah.
from what was it? Escape from L.A. Remember when they put it when he has to do the basketball thing? Snake
Yeah,
Plissken.
I haven't. Yeah, man, I need to go back and watch that. Add that to the list of episodes we need to do because I want an excuse to watch Escape from New York and Escape from LA again.
I'm totally down.
Mm. Um,
You know who Matt Blaster reminds me of though? Who it kind of parallels to the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
that's a very good point. I love those big characters, and whenever I have a chance to play in any games and stuff, I'll always play as those big, strong ones. Um, it it's first off, I like being able to hit someone to hit me 5 times, and I just hit him once, and it knocks out the same amount of health as he spent the entire match trying to do. That's
Puny
one.
human.
The second is if you play him with any sort of like intelligence whatsoever, you have a fun time. Even when I make like my big characters when I play tabletop RPGs, I always make sure they have at least an intelligence of 10 because and then you play them dumb because what happens is that you play them dumb for the whole game and all of a sudden they like, oh well, I could just smash it, where that works. Yeah. Um. Anyway, Master Blaster is one of those characters. Again, we're back to this. They don't explain him.
Nope.
He's just there. He's awesome, and then they go away. There was a. Do you remember Drawn Together? This
Oh
is
yeah.
completely. This
Oh
is
yeah.
almost. Did you ever watch the made-for-TV movie after the series was canceled
I
that kind of tried to wrap it up?
I did. My memory's a little fuzzy, but I did. Yes.
Well, the point is what it is it's talking about Drawn Together versus South Park because they were both on Comedy Central at the time.
Yeah.
And the reason that Drawn Together got canceled and South Park got, 20 seasons and a movie and all the money in the world, um, was because South Park had to make a point with their stuff.
Yeah.
And then the plot of the movie basically comes to the things like, well, if you make a point, you can say whatever you want. I can talk about my taint. I can make fart jokes. I can even make Saddam Hussein have sex with the devil. And they don't care because it's making a point. It's commentary. It's like, well, what if I just want to make fart jokes and stuff like that? Oh, you can't do that. My point being is that sometimes I just like something to not be explained. I just want a fart joke to be a fart joke. I want that tree to be a tree, and I want as a movie I watched recently, I want just to see Kong take a tree and throw it at an airplane.
Yeah.
I don't need to know his motivations for doing it. I just knew that he took a tree and threw it at an airplane and it exploded and it looked cool.
Sometimes simplicity is
Um,
beautiful and perfect.
Exactly, simplicity and the mystery behind it. That's something that I believe we don't see a whole lot of anymore. That's something that Mad Max does really well. Is again, it doesn't explain it. It leaves a little bit of mystery to what's going on. It makes you wonder. It makes you do what we're doing right here and discuss it because what the hell did I just watch?
Masterpiece.
Master Blaster. Anyway, Master Blaster. Love it. Don't know how they became Master Blaster. Maybe there's an obscure comic book. I don't know.
Hey, that hair too
But
that Mad Max has at the beginning of this movie. He had the
the
hair,
what?
the hair. He had the hair and the beard going on. Long-haired Mel
Yeah,
Gibson.
he did. Oh yeah, no, no, no. The hair and the beard. I enjoyed that thoroughly. And this was prime Mel Gibson. So, correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong. Like the first one, he was completely unknown. The second one, he was mostly unknown, and he was a movie star by this time.
Yeah.
So I think right. I
I would
mean,
think I think at this point he was like Lethal Weapon, like doing
Lethal Weapon and
this.
Braveheart, right? Like he
Yeah.
had to have done Braveheart by almost by that, right?
Yeah.
It's So it's weird to see that transition too. That's probably why the movie got more money because Mel Gibson's like, hell yeah, I want to do another Mad Max movie
Well,
because
give me the
George Miller's
money.
my bro. He got me my first job.
Exactly. I owe it
No,
to this guy.
yeah, I owe this guy my career. Yes, I want to do that. Um, anyway, going back to what I was saying before about the props. So his car, I believe, is in. No, he doesn't have the car in this one. It's the camel. Are you still there? Did I lose you?
No,
Or
I'm
you
still here.
just didn't still?
I'm still
Okay,
here.
sorry. Sometimes I wonder when it just completely locks like that. But I don't care. The props is that apparently he uses the crossbow that the
Yes.
Mohawk guy uses. He
Hmm.
has it when he lays at the beginning of Bartertown when he starts laying like stuff down. So it's that, and there's a few other things. I think he has that said like the knives are the same knives and shit like that. And I love the continuity between that. Absolutely,
Yes.
I enjoy it so much. Um, anyway, getting on to the bulk of the movie, which I guess.
I guess it
Um,
really changed when after the whole Bartertown thing and when he gets
mhm.
out there in the desert and then finds the kids. That's
Yes,
when
the
it
kids.
really kind of changes the whole theme of the movie.
It does, and that's where it comes where I start having my little issues with it. In my mind, it feels like two movies stapled together at that point. You know what I mean? Like there's a movie that beginning part is
Hmm.
different. Um, it maybe even takes place in modern day without it being a post-apocalyptic. And then he goes out into the desert and he ends up there. And that's the weird part about it is that I don't get me wrong. I absolutely I enjoy it. I don't hate it at all, but it just seems a little bit out of place if you know what I mean. It's like, oh, we have this awesome movie. Here's the Thunderdome that we've been talking about the whole thing. And then he goes out in the desert and spends most of the movie talking to some kids about how he's not captain, a
Walker.
captain of
Captain Walker.
airplane.
Captain Walker is what it was.
That's right, Captain Walker.
Because what it seemed
Captain
like, what
Walker.
was it? Basically, the Captain Walker was like a pilot, and then he got all
Mm-hmm.
these kids together, and then they went there, and then I think the Walker went out to go find more people or something, and just never came back.
Well, the indication I got is they had been there since before the apocalypse. So every time a kid became of age, they sent him out,
Hmm.
and that's why there's only kids. So anytime someone came of age, that they were sent out to look for, it, and that's so they'd been there for quite some time.
Because a
It
kid
wasn't
found
like
him and carried him there, didn't they? If I
the
remember,
what?
didn't a kid find Mad Max and carried him back to the Oasis? If I remember
Yes,
right.
it was the one of the hunter gatherers. It's actually the one that's telling the story at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah,
That I believe, yeah, that finds him. Um, oh, it's Captain Walker.
Captain Walker.
Um, so my point being is clearly none of the kids that are there at that point knew the real Captain Walker.
You're right.
So, it's Mad Max, so he was alive before the apocalypse. This is another problem with it. It's like the timeline is really, really weird when it comes to this because they have this whole mythology they've written on the walls. They built these machines, but it couldn't have taken longer than like 20
Yeah, and I
years.
mean,
You know what I
obviously
mean?
they're trying to tell you it's been a while because they gave Max the gray in his hair, so they're trying to tell you it's
Yeah.
been quite a while
Well,
since the second movie.
yeah. So let's assume for a second that he
Also, stress.
was round about 25 in the first movie, and that's really low for that first movie.
Hmm.
Okay, so then we give him like five, maybe put him closer to 30 in the second movie.
Hmm.
I know there's probably an official timeline, and we could look it up, but I mean, and so anyway, we assume so he's 30 in the second movie, give or take
Hmm.
3 or 4 years. If we assume the next movie takes place 20 years after that,
So he'd
I
be like
get
in his
it.
40s, close to
It's the
50 maybe.
40s, 40 or 50,
Yeah.
and I think that's a pretty good judgment as far as action movie heroes aging goes.
Which, if you take the
Um,
kids, then that would make a little more sense because the kids are typically around like between probably like 6 to 15, maybe. That might be high. That might be, I don't know, right around there. I don't know
well,
how old those
yeah,
older boys would be.
yeah, yeah, I get it, and that makes sense. But again, did the parents go out? Did they die off? And again, this is the mystery I was talking about, and I enjoy it. It's anytime you do this, Star Wars does the same thing.
Hmm.
It's really really weird to think this empire had been plotting for all this time, and it both grows and gets taken down over the course of about 30, 40 years,
Hmm.
which in grand scheme is nothing, especially in the Star Wars extended universe where it goes back millions of years.
Millions.
It's like, oh yeah, no. So yeah, millions of years for Old Republic, and it's like, oh, it's here, oh, it's gone, we killed it, it's done,
It's
because it has
gone.
to take place has to take place over 2 lifetimes, so it's like 80 years. But hey, whatever, right? Well, sorry, it has to take place in one lifetime because it has to be Anakin Skywalker, doing the whole thing.
Oh
So.
yeah, gotta have Annie, angry Annie.
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying. So it's Anakin Skywalker's story more than anything else. So okay, so this empire has this whole thing. It's coming back, and it's dead before this guy can die because he needs to be the main character of the whole thing. Cool, awesome. It's great for extended universe because you get a lot more crap, but
Hmm.
it it's really really weird when you think about it. Anyway, back to what it's weird to think about a similar thing happening with these kids and their I guess God mythos.
Yeah.
With Captain Walker.
Captain Walker.
In story time, they have the little television set, cardboard cutout.
I
I
I
thought
I,
that was fun.
I appreciated
Yeah,
that actually. I was like, yeah,
yeah.
because
The
honestly, when
television
I
set
was
in
a
the
kid, I actually had like those little tiny TVs. We had one that was broken, and I took all the insides out, and I kind of did the same thing. So yeah,
yeah.
I
See,
feel that.
it did exactly what someone would have done that knew what a TV was. But again, it's weird because none of those kids probably have seen a TV because they were born after the apocalypse for the
Hmm.
most part.
They could have been told stories, and I did find a timeline here. Um,
Oh, really?
just to save face, it says that Mad Max 2 Road Warrior is set 3 years after Mad Max.
Okay, so I was a little off.
Um, and then Thunderdome takes place, it says 15 years after Mad Max 2.
So I was jumping the gun a little bit. So
Just a little bit.
he is only, so if we assume he's probably still about 40, give or take, right?
Yeah, I mean, stress too. But I'm also starting to go gray,
He-
so.
Well, yeah, whatever. It follows the same protagonist streak as like an Evil Dead. Oh, I'm sane. Oh, I'm not that sane. I am batshit insane because Army of Darkness has to be a thing.
I think they do
Um,
kind of show too. Speaking of going insane, I think they do kind of show the progression of him becoming. I'm not gonna say becoming less human, but definitely
mhm.
becoming less. More like what's the word I'm trying to think of? More inside his head and not like
Yeah,
it's gotten
yeah.
to
Well,
him.
when you think about it, they killed his dog, so he's been traveling alone for
Killed his
a
family, killed his
long time.
dog
Yeah. So he's been traveling alone for a long time, and I mean,
in the
you're gonna go a
desert.
little bit insane if you like that. I mean, that's the way that works. Um, yeah, yeah, no. I thoroughly enjoyed the whole thing. Um, I didn't like as much. The ending seemed kind of brick wall. I mean,
Now, are we talking
did you
about
agree with me on that one?
do what?
Do you agree with me? I mean, I'm kind of it seemed like it just kind of happened. Like, they're going through, they're doing their whole thing, and all of a sudden, oh, they fly off and they're gonna get to this
And they get
city.
to Sydney, I think it was, or some big city they got to, because the ending dialogue there when they're talking about how they found the city.
I think they showed the Sydney Opera, so I believe that the implication is that was Sydney.
Because I think what
That
they kind of left it up to that the kids all left with the helicopter guy or the plane guy, whatever, and they went to the big city to kind of try to rebuild.
Interesting thing. You're not going crazy if you did the same thing I did. It is the gyro captain, but it's a different character.
Okay, and he even had the kid with them, so I'm like, is that the same two people from the second movie?
Yeah. So he would have been with the kid because he flew away.
Yeah.
So it would make sense if it were the same character, but it wasn't the same character.
But it was the same actor, right?
But it was the same actor.
Yeah.
But he's doing pretty much the same thing, but it was not the same character.
We're just gonna pretend like it's his twin brother or something that just happened to be out there.
I like that headcanon. It's his twin brother who has a son. Sure, why not?
He had a family and had a kid, unlike his other brother who just flew around and met, Road Warrior stuff.
I'm back.
Okay.
But yeah, he has a kid, just for because why not?
Because why not?
Because Mad Max. Because no one remembers the other movies. The complete. No. It's a weird series to watch because at the same time they do shit like that just screws with your head either on purpose or on accident, and then it has such reverence for continuity with everything with the props and everything. So it's like, it's like he was the first person to try and troll the. It's like the Star Wars people. You know what I mean? Like, well, you can't do that because in this obscure book this happens, and you can't do that. I'm like, well, you just ruined my fun. So he's the one messing with it. The writers of WandaVision, which spoilers in case you guys don't know.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, the fake twists. Oh, I'll teach you to theorize. Yeah, that's right. It's Evan Peters. He has nothing to do with the plot.
No, that was trolling. If anything, that was literal fucking trolling. They knew what they were doing.
They had a whole episode. They had it as a twist ending to an episode, so everyone shat themselves. And then it comes up, and it was nothing, absolutely nothing.
Boner.
And I love that Marvel has the balls to do that.
Boner.
I absolutely love that too.
Boner.
Boner.
Even he was like, when she said his name, Boner. Boner.
Yeah, just so we're clear, the entire thing was a build-up to a dick joke. Just so we're clear, that entire plot line was a build-up to one dick joke. Some writer is going to basically have that scene on repeat over his grave because that was his that was his magnum opus, was him getting that joke into a serious Marvel property.
Like in one of that was like the second to last episode too, if not the last episode. So that was.
It was the last episode. They kept you guessing until the last episode. Trust me, I know. I woke up at 2 a.m. to see it.
Bless them.
And I'm sitting there, my 2 a.m. going, did they really just do that? Yep, they did. Cool. I'm in. Let's.
I gotta have a conversation with Evan Peters and just talk to him about that. So, did you know about the boner the whole time?
Oh yeah, I did, but hey. Imagination.
Oh, Thunder. But yeah, Thunderdome, good movie. Different pacing, that's for sure.
Different pacing, different movie,
different story, different way of telling it.
I'm gonna rate this a little bit differently because again, I didn't hate the movie. As a movie itself, it's okay. As a Mad Max movie, I think it doesn't do very well, quite frankly. Like I said, it's a good movie. I get it, but it just feels like you could have put any other protagonist. You know what I mean? You could put some other person in there. Like that could have been a generic adventure movie. If you do it right, that's an Indiana Jones movie
Yeah.
too. I mean, right? Indiana Jones and the Lost Child City. But,
Yeah.
no, sorry, the City of Lost Children.
The
See that?
City of Lost
Yeah,
Children. There you go.
yeah, the City of Lost Children, and it becomes a very different movie. You have him, and Mary Ann go, and they're in the, yeah,
Wherever they
yeah.
find some kids, and they're like, "What happened to
They
you?
find
We've been left here
they,
forever."
they find some kids in the Sumerian jungle that happens to exist in the center of the earth.
How'd you get here? We don't know,
We fell
sir.
through a hole.
We fell through a hole, sir. Are you Mr. Walker?
Are you Mr. Walker?
Nah,
And
I ain't
again,
Mr. Walker.
well, no. You have all the children be played by the kid that played Short Round. Yeah,
Oh God.
yeah.
But not the same.
Jones,
But not the same character. Same actor, but not the same character.
And now we've gone full circle. But yeah, no, yeah. But like I said, that is to me, like I said, it's a pretty good movie. It is not a great Mad Max movie.
I think out of all of them, to be honest, you could kind of take that one out and leave the other three even in there, including the first one, and it would line up fine.
Yeah, I think they basically said that George Miller basically said that at some point that 3 is considered an anomaly. It's like consider it some barely canon, a soft reboot, if you will.
It's a side story.
Well, no, it's a side story. That would be a good one. A fan fiction.
Fan
Get down to
fiction.
that. Someone wrote a fan fiction about Mad Max. Yeah.
It's a side quest. You can
Allegedly.
choose to do it or not. It's not going to affect the main story, but you can do it if you want. It's a DLC.
Exactly. Which, speaking about screwing up timelines and main story, on to my personal favorite, and that would be